Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Voice of Islam, daily reminder in this month of Ramadan. And today, what day are we on, Brother Mohammed Thompson? Because you're good at counting.
I've actually lost count. I think it's the 16th, 17th.
No, it's probably the 18th, I reckon. It's probably
if it's 18th for you guys, it's 17th for us.
Yeah, because you started one day after us.
You started on a Saturday, yes.
It's let me tell you what 14th, it is, right?
15th, 17th.
Yeah, this is the 11th of that month. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's definitely 18 days that we've been doing the program. Not 18 days of Ramadan. Remember, we started before Ramadan.
Exactly. Yes.
That's right. Subhanallah. And today's topic, brothers and sisters, because it's a topic which is very close to our own heart, being people that were not yet Muslim before, and then we became Muslim, as Sheikh Hussein beautifully puts it. I hope all of you enjoyed Sheikh Hussein's program yesterday. I certainly did. Well, so today we're going to be talking about new Muslim support. Those are newly arrived in the faith of Islam. You know, how are we supporting them? Are we supporting them? Is there sufficient support for them? Do we really understand them and their needs? That's it, because of course they come from diverse backgrounds. They come with sometimes different languages and cultures. Often those cultures and those practices, religious and otherwise, contradict the basic tenets of Islam. And even though they've become Muslim, they're still practicing those tenets, and they still have those habits from before. Well, one of those things actually is the physical thing, like the tattoo. You know, a lot of people, they embrace Islam and they've got multiple tattoos, some of them all over their body, you know, and then they embrace Islam and then they get judged every 5 minutes, isn't it, Mohammed?
Yes,
every 5 minutes. Oh, that takes you outside the fold of Islam, brother. Astaghfirullah, so on and so forth. But of course, they don't know where these people have come from. They haven't got a clue. They're judging them with their eyes. They're judging them without understanding the background, brothers and sisters. It's really important, Mohammed, for us. And of course, you in New Zealand have your fair share of that, because you have our beautiful brothers and sisters from the Maori traditions, from the islanders, and many of them have that tradition of tattooing the body, and that it's a cultural thing to explain family lineage and so on and so forth, isn't it?
That's correct, yes. And as you said, there are many Muslims who have this, and they do get judged, as you said, and there's not much they can do about it, because it's not something that's easily removed successfully. So it is hard for them, but it's also their cultural type thing as well. So they've come from that area. Even some people from other areas of the world who are in the Navy and things like that, which is a tradition, they get some sort of tattoos as well. So they have the same sort of thing. But usually with the Maori, it's more, and the island, it's more prominent because they have usually a lot bigger. Sometimes I know there's one brother, Isa, has a whole facial tattoo, who's now Muslim. So, but he's a beautiful brother, like he come from a gang background, but now, alhamdulillah, he's very soft and you talk about different things, you can see tears coming from his eyes, how he's just so loves the deen and things like that. But, you sort of look at him, you could be scared, but alhamdulillah, he's like a little pussycat now. And alhamdulillah, and this is the thing, we have to look beyond that, because that's just something on the outside. You got to look from the inside, like you got to, get attached to their heart. What's their heart? And that's what we're going to get to, inshallah.
Yes, indeed. We oftentimes prejudge people based on our preconceived ideas of what a Muslim should look like, what sort of clothing they should wear, what is your name? I've had all sorts of things like, sometimes I just say, my name's Tim and things like that. Oh no, but you only have a Muslim name? I said, it is a Muslim name. It's given by my parents, therefore it's Muslim. It's fine. It's fine, brothers and sisters. Don't get hung up over small minor issues, which then put the new Muslim right on the back foot. Subhanallah. And, you know, so many other things, isn't it, Muhammad? This just, the name is, of course, a classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you're born with a name and then you go back to your mother after like 40 years and you say to them, by the way, Mum, my name's Muhammad now. What do you think she's going to say to you?
Well, my mother just says, yes, Graham, I know it's Muhammad, but I still call you Graham. So
That's
and I say, yeah, fine. I got no problem with that. So, you know, that's the thing. So she still calls me that. She accepts what I've done and things like that. But she says, no matter what you call yourself, I'll still call you Graham. So, you know, and that's, you know, the beauty of keeping a relationship with your parents and things like that. So always on a good relationship and things like that. So, yeah, it's good. Alhamdulillah. And especially now, like my mother's in Australia and she's a bit older now, she's 86. And, you know, I just rang her yesterday, just say hello and wish her happy Mother's Day. Yes, I know it's not an Islamic thing, but it's something that they like and things like that. So just to keep in touch. So and she was very happy, you know, so it was good.
Right. Yes. So also we've got Denise from Turkey here, subhanallah. And she's actually mentioning that some people are being forced to do things like wear hijabs even when they're not, I think, forcing new Muslims to wear hijab. Well, I mean, obviously you can't force anyone to wear hijab, can you?
No.
You can't, because as soon as you turn their back, as soon as you turn your back, of course they're going to take it off. I think we've got Reza on as a temporary backup, is it? Or subhanallah.
Disappeared.
Salman is a Persian name. Safiya is a Jewish name. Many of the Sahaba kept their non-Arabic names. You're absolutely right, subhanallah. If the name did not contradict the basic tenets of Islam, then there was no point them changing it. And, you know, if you can imagine that basically it's like you turn your back on your whole family and say, look, I'm actually not from your family, you know, my name is now X. You know, it's a very, very disturbing thing to happen. And then you break the ties of kith and kin. You know,
it's sort of like broken the Sirat Rahim. You know, you've broken the Sirat Rahim straight away. You've got a big barrier between trying to tell them about Islam, because they say, well, you cut yourself off by doing that. So that can be then a problem.
So yeah, there's a lot of practices for non-Muslims as well. Classic one, brothers and sisters, is, you know, the dawah scenario where the non-Muslim woman wants to come into the mosque, you know, and what do? They insist that she puts on a hijab. I had this in Christchurch.
Yes.
Why are you insisting that? Come on, sisters, calm down. They're not Muslims. There's no rule which says you have to wear a head covering in a masjid. There wasn't even anyone praying in there, to be honest, because it was just being used as almost like a museum, you know, like you know, an exhibition piece. So it was an exhibition center. You know, calm down. Where does it say in the Deen of Islam you have to force a woman to put a hijab on and then herd her in? You know, do you know what she feels? I was actually with some of the guys in Christchurch this year. And I said, I do apologize, but there's no need for you to put the hijab on. If you want to take it off, please take it off. There's no compulsion in this faith.
Yeah.
And I had to explain it, and I felt really bad. You know, so brothers and sisters, calm down. When you're talking to new Muslims or you're talking to non-Muslims, think about, put yourself in their shoes. This is one of the things that we teach in the Dawah training courses. Let them put your glasses on and then put their glasses on to see the perspective that they're looking from. You know, this is very, very important when you're, you know, because ultimately new Muslims or, you know, non-Muslims, the situation is pretty much the same. You've got to, because you're dealing with all of their friends and all of their family. You're dealing with their cultural aspirations, which are not going to change overnight. They're simply not. We don't have a role model like the Prophet Muhammad around us. We have some people who are incredibly good, but the rest of us, unfortunately, we're following cultural norms. We're following Pakistani norms, Indian norms, Bangladeshi norms, Arabic norms, North African norms. You know, we're not following the Deen of Islam properly as it was given by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we were, I guarantee you, brothers and sisters, most of these people around you would already be one of two things. They would be the friends of Muslim, or they would have entered the fold of Islam. If we were, truly speaking, like the original Muslims. Would you agree with that, Brother Muhammad?
Oh, certainly, because like you just look at in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, how Islam developed. So for the first 13 years, I think it was mainly just Tawheed, like the getting to know Allah. And then the other things came after that, slowly, like the prayer, the zakat, the banning of alcohol, the covering for the women and things like that. So we have to, when someone becomes a Muslim, you know, day one, you can't expect them to be, you know, Sheikh al-Azhar, you know, be able to do all these things, know all these doers, all these things. They can hardly say the Shahada. They, you know, and they're being told to do this and told to do that and pull this way. You got to, the dress you got to wear is this one. The other one's saying the dress you got to wear is the Pakistani, the other one's saying the Arab and that sort of thing. So all they're doing is getting pulled from pillar to post, getting so confused. And they said, look, I just want to be a Muslim. You know, I just want to be a Muslim. Yeah. Is it that hard? And this is a problem that, you know, the people in their enthusiasm to, you know, show the people Islam, but they've got to remember these people are like little babies now. They can't even, they hardly can crawl, let alone walk or run a marathon to be able to understand all the different things and, you know, put your right foot in as you're walking in the door, in the mosque door and say this door and, you know, you're doing your wudu and you say that door and that sort of thing. They're struggling just to say the Shahada, let alone anything else. So just got to have time to, you know, get understanding and you've got to get the right people to help them. That's the main thing. Get the right people to be with them, to assist them. And that's what we've got to try and establish more and more here to, you know, as more and more becoming Muslim, we need to, should have done this years and years ago to have a good, you know, there's some organizations doing this sort of thing, like having a buddy system and, you know, programs for new Muslims, but, you know, something Voice of Islam has got to get into a lot more to help set up something for those people.
Well, ultimately, Brother Muhammad, what does happen with the new Muslim brothers and sisters, if we start, you know, pushing our cultural baggage upon them, okay, then they do one of two things. You estrange them and they end up sitting isolated at home, okay? We know the condition of a person who remains on their own. They are susceptible to shaitanic waswas, to the shaitanic words and advice, you know? They become depressed. So if you are one of those people that's going out peddling, you know, negative sentiments upon these new Muslims, think again twice. And maybe you will be the one who's responsible for chasing them away from the faith of Islam. And that is a very serious sin in the face of in the Deen of Islam. So we would ask all of those brothers and sisters to be careful with our new Muslim brothers and sisters as they come in to the faith, gently, persuasively. I would prefer you get someone who's already done it before, somebody who is a new Muslim, somebody who's gone through the processes, or somebody who is au fait with the difficulties of those new Muslims as they come in and they try to practice the many aspects and assets of this beautiful faith. But when it's practiced properly, nobody will leave it. Nobody will leave it at all. Nobody will even question it. But when it's practiced in a manner that, you know, seems to be judgmental, seems to be nonsensical, and later on they find, they see they're not knowledgeable. With me, I had to read in about all of the issues of names and so on and so forth. And I had to go consult scholars and so on and so forth. People know me as Yusuf now, but my mother always calls me Tim. You know, it doesn't matter. As far as she's concerned, I'm just Tim. I haven't, she, you know, her concern is, well, her thing is, Tim, you're an amazing son. That's it. I don't know whether, whatever it is, you're so helpful and this and that, but you're still Tim. You know, I know you're Muslim, and I know that's helped you a lot in your journey, but I identify with you as Tim. Now, if I went there with Arab garb on, you know, I used to do it back in the days. I used to put new hats on and new outfits every time I go and see so different people from a different faith. But when it came to the Arab stuff, wearing a thobe in England with a topi and, you know, the lahia is big and you look like you're alien to them, to the people you're calling. Now, some people can get away with it. I'm not saying everyone. Generally speaking, it doesn't wash with, in terms of where I am in Britain, absolutely doesn't wash. They literally, they'll say hi to you in front of your face, and then behind your back, they'll be saying, what is this lunatic? What's wrong with him? You know, so guess what, guys? It's time to start to think, to be in the shoes of the people you're calling. Now, if you consider yourself just that you are living in New Zealand, you are living in Britain, you're living in America, in these, you know, where you're a minority group of people, and you think it's just your role just to exist, then fine, go about what you want to wear. But if you consider that your role is definitely da'wah, and it's an obligation, and by the way, it is, okay? And that's according to the consensus of the scholars, then you need to try to not assimilate, but you need to integrate, not assimilate, integrate, meaning you don't need to change your ways, but you should understand that host nation, you know, needs guidance, you see? Now, so it comes and it's happening. We've got a few comments. Maria's made a good comment there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh from Fawzia. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's just, no, I think that was it. Yep. No, Amran. It's not mandatory in Islam for a revert to change their name. Quite right. If it contradicts the faith, then they should change their name. So brothers and sisters, bring out some of the stories so that we can express the issue of new Muslims or revert Muslims. The term even revert and convert, that needs a discussion around as well, really. Exactly. But sounds like convert, sounds like a prisoner. But anyway, it's true though, Mohammed. So in New Zealand, in the context of New Zealand with the Voice of Islam, how are you managing new Muslims? Because you have to travel far and wide to go and visit them. That's hugely, huge costs involved in that, right?
Well, there is huge costs involved in it. There's still in Auckland. Auckland's the biggest population base, whether it be Muslim or non-Muslim anyway. So I think 2/3 of the whole of New Zealand is from the Waikato North. So there's big population there, but it's just trying to, we were just talking the other day with some others, we need to get a database of all the reverts and put it together and then keep in contact with them and just find out what their needs are, especially like during this lockdown. There's probably a lot of them who have been isolated and things like that. You know, they might not be close to their families, and they might not be close to some of the Muslims as well. So they're missing both sides. So we're just going to, you know, that's the thing we're going to try and do, is get that established. But like you said, it's far. You know, you met some of the brothers down in Hastings. You know, like that's like 5-hour drive from Auckland. Yeah, you can fly there, but sometimes it's better just to drive. But it's, you know, that they need a lot of support down there. They've got a lot of problems. There's a lot of issues with the gangs down there, and drugs and things like that. So it's just, you know, a matter of trying to work out a process and try and get down to these people, give them some training, give them some support, and just let them know, like, now that, you know, we've sort of got to know how to use Zoom and these sort of platforms, we should be able to use this a lot more now. and make contact with these people more regularly over that sort of platform, and then go and see them as well. So just sort of keeping that regular contact. And I think what we need to do is just get some those who are well-versed reverts, and not just all reverts, but those who understand what the reverts need, both brothers and sisters, because there's plenty of sisters become Muslim as well, to be able to then offer to help in, just a talk, talk to them, things like that, and give that sort of support. Because, I know, as you would know from when you became Muslim, there's all sorts of things, you get pushed, pulled all over the place. Unless you're strong, you could quite easily just say, walk away and say, oh, this is too difficult. You don't feel welcome. Although I think it's just, I don't think it's deliberate. I think what it is the overexcitement of those who have, not those who are Muslims, want to greet you and show you what to do. They're trying to make you out to be, something that they would aspire to be. They want you to be something they can't, because for whatever reason. So they want you to be straight away like a Sahaba or someone like this, to be instant, know everything.
Absolutely. And then, so somebody's mentioning the fact that when we're sort of opening to comments and observations and questions, the incident you mentioned about non-Muslim females trying to enter a masjid is a common occurrence. Should they be allowed to enter? Should she be allowed to enter if she's inappropriately dressed? Well, I mean, all the issues have to be looked at. It depends on what inappropriate means. For them, it's not inappropriate, right? For us, it's inappropriate. You see? So one has to put yourself in their shoes. I'm saying, if there are a lot of people there praying and things like that, then obviously, actually, it's incumbent upon the men in there to lower their gaze. Actually. But on another way of looking at it is that they should, of course, make an effort. So what you should do is, and they say in the entrance to masajid in Singapore, we have hijabs and sarongs. Well, that's a different kettle of fish, because in the Southeast Asian area, a person who's coming and is traveling will understand that there are cultural norms. We're talking about Britain. I'm talking about in the middle of Britain, in the middle of America, in the middle of wherever it is, Holland or Germany or France, because suddenly for us to, have to expect them to adopt this dress code, I mean, okay, when you go into church, sometimes they actually make you wear a hat, or they make you take the hat off, right? So they actually derobe you.
Yes.
But, it's the other way around. But, the point being, what is the ultimate aim of somebody going into the masjid? Think about that. Think about it. The ultimate aim is, that they want to know.
They're inquiring.
They're
inquiring. They want to, like you said, they want to know.
So when somebody wants to know, and if you're a good teacher, you will try to encourage them with everything that you know, by way of making them believe that this way of life, which is established in the masjid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is definitely the best. It's better than the one they've come from. So they've come from this way and they've walked into this different scenario, and this scenario makes them feel good. Some women actually require, they want the hijab. Fine, have the stock of hijab. Say, would you like to try this? Maybe it's, some sisters were saying that in Christchurch, and I thought it was okay. I said, don't force them though. Let them have that, where they feel part of the masjid is that women tend to wear this. So if you put this on, then it will help you. You understand? To have a better experience. Fine, got it. Okay, but he says it's not what we do, it's about how we do it, brothers and sisters. Very important. Some other people are mentioning the fact of new Muslims. Just got online, James. They covered clothes a bit earlier. Naturally, our manners, our ways, ourselves, our dress, our being. Okay. Right. So men may wear trousers to be part of the community. Women wear the hijab. There's quite a lot of comments there, and if we can just piece them all out and have them, here they are. Some of them are here. No, we need to get those comments, Brother Feroz, and put them on the chat section over here. Otherwise, I have to keep looking down at the phone and having this amazing conversation about reverts, about new Muslims who are undergoing scrutiny amongst our new, born, quote unquote, born Muslims, because everyone's a born Muslim really, until their parents decide to take them on a different path, right? According to the Sunnah, according to the Hadith of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, every child is born in the state of Islam until their parents, they make them a different faith, have a different perspective. Yes, Brother Muhammad. So what are the things that you have witnessed and had issues with in terms of looking after your revert Muslims, the new Muslims who are coming in New Zealand? And have you had, like I have, many horror stories of them actually just disappearing one day and you just can't get hold of them? And then because they feel it's so weird, you know, that they've got all this cultural stuff they've got to do. You know, ultimately, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge us according to what? Internal actions, niyyah. The verses in the Quran clearly say it. I will not judge you by your external appearance. Now, everything's become external and there's no internal left. The internal is the things that matter, you know? It's not you know, sometimes people will be, you know, cursed for following a way which is, you know, external actions for the people, because, you know, it's aghraya. It's like a liken to, which is showing off, okay? It's like, I'm not saying everyone does this. I'm just saying one has to be careful. It's a liken to a black dot on a black stone on a black night. You can't see it, but it's there, brothers and sisters. We all have to be careful about why we're doing things in the public arena, and check your intentions, right? Make sure you're doing you have the right intention and you're doing things for Allah, because these are the people, people are witnessing us and they're analyzing us, brothers and sisters, because we're in the spotlight 24 hours, 7 days a week. We are in the spotlight, whether you like it or not. Islam is being spoken about by more people today than any other ism or schism in the world. This is a proof that Islam is the haqq, by the way. Alhamdulillah, subhanallah. So we've got a few comments. So naturally, our dress is part of our way and expression, as sometimes people feel more comfortable seeing that they're around those whom I can't quite understand that, who are of faith. Being around those who are of faith. I think being around those who are of faith. Yes, yes. Would you say that that's correct? They want to be around people who are of faith. So naturally, our manners, our ways, our self, our dress, our being is or should be, inshallah, of the nature of Islam. Okay, so this is just all comments, alhamdulillah. Then Sister Hania saying, when I was new in Islam, my Ustadh did not impose anything in terms of dress codes, but merely focused on the beauty of, hold on, it's just moved up. The beauty of Islam in a way comparable to Christianity. As a result, it made me understand Islam being a better version of Christianity that I grew up in, inshallah. You see, there is a Ustadh that really is connected with understanding the people. Now, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, and Brother Muhammad, I'm going to bring you in. Do you not think that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was in these conditions that he would know exactly how to deal with these people? Because there was no Muslims when he first took Shahada. When he first declared the first verses of the Quran, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq, read in the name of your Lord, in the cave of Hira, and he ran down. That point, because he had such an amazing connectivity with his people, okay, he was able to convince the majority of them it was right. And then he then sent people who, like Mu'adh ibn Jabal, etc., to the different nations that knew those people. We have to get to know our host nations, brothers and sisters. Exactly. We have to, in order that we must be a people of that nation. Does not mean to say we have to be sellouts or assimilated. No, we just need to understand. That's a great point from Sister Hania. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us a lot more, Muhammad, people like that in our communities.
For sure,
yeah?
yes. You know, that Ustadh has done the right thing, and inshallah we have many more like this, and we can learn from people like that to be able to have the wisdom and the ability to see what needs to be done and what needs to be said. And like you said, we need to get the people of that nationality, of those backgrounds, to go to the other people, because they understand their people. So the Maoris, if we've got Maori reverts who've got good enough knowledge and things like that, to be the ones leading to go back to their own people and things like that. And, you know, you take other people along with you to go down and see them. Like, especially say going down to Hastings, there's some good Maori brothers down there. So we just link up with them and then just give them the support down there. And I think it's just the thing that just needs to be, we just need to have that empathy, the understanding of, you know, they say, take a walk in, you know, walk a mile in my shoes sort of thing, you know, just sort of know what I'm going through, know what things are happening. Unless you're been through that, it's like people say, oh, you can never understand what childbirth is. Unless you've been through it, you can't, you know, you can sort of think about it, especially a man, you can just think about what the pain and everything like that, but you can never truly understand what it is. So it's the same as, you know, non-Muslims, you know, trying to tell Muslims about, you know, things they should do as a convert, but they can understand to a certain degree, but they can never truly understand what's going on, getting pulled from here to that. You're still getting pulled back to maybe your old ways, or, you know, your family, or, you know, friends and things that could be trying to pull you back. And you've got all the shaitan in your ears going, you know, get back to this, do this, you know, you're going the wrong way, you want to party some more and things like that. So they've got to understand and give them a bit of slack, you know, to be able to slowly do it. It can't be just straight away. It's got to be slow. And some people take a bit quicker, some people a bit slower. It's just got to, you know, let them go at their own pace and give them the support that they can.
And then there's one of the brother, inappropriate by Islam. There's a danger of condoning inappropriate attire and making them feel it's the norm. In NZ and Oz, the 3/4 shorts worn by men are fine, but the problem is with the females, he's saying. So, you know, obviously, you know, we're talking about the issue of non-Muslims here and entering the fold of Islam and trying to explain to them. Of course, when it comes to, you know, even the 3/4 short, I get it in the neck. When I'm wearing a 3/4 short, I get told off. I mean, do you not know the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It was a shawar kameez. It's actually, and you know, some of them didn't have enough, you know, material to even cover themselves. And there's a hadith of one young man who's leading the prayer, and he's exposing himself. He doesn't even realize, because he's got no material to cover himself. There was extreme poverty in those times, you know. And, you know, actually, and subhanAllah, you know, we really got to stop trying to be holier than thou attitudes, you know. And by the way, it's something that a lot of people got frightened away from Christianity because of the exact same things, the puritanical ideas of somehow faith. Of course, there is an aura for the woman and there's an aura for the men. We understand that. But you're talking about non-Muslims or new Muslims that have just come into the faith. Don't frighten them away. Do not impose the hijab straight away. You cannot, because I'm telling you, they will run away from the deen, and you will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of a surety, and you will see that on your mizan, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you, it's very, very dangerous. So Islam looks at the heart. Dressing is the last thing that you will change. When your internal is ready, you will manifest that from the external. Your internal is the first bit. Islam came to correct the righteous character, to present the righteous character. After the character is formed, the external will become a norm. It will be normal. But then don't expect that, you know, a host nation will suddenly mass convert and then all become, you know, change radically and start speaking Arabic and wearing Islamic garb. What is Islamic garb anyway? Islamic garb is to cover the aura.
Exactly.
It can be anything. It doesn't, oh, there's some in Sunnah regarding some of the colors that are not acceptable because they're the, you know, people of, from the previous nations of idol worshipping or whatever. Yes, I agree. But generally speaking, we've got to get few hang-ups about this issue. Sarah Khadri, she says the non-Muslim women who visit the mosque here in Christchurch have all been amazing and welcomed putting on the hijab. We always explained to them it wasn't obligatory, just respect, and they did it, and lovely people have been very decent about it. There we are, you see. Let's see, that is giving them a choice, giving them an option. Okay, Sarah, thank you very much for that comment. And I'm just very, very cognizant of the fact we just need to be careful. I'm only doing this as to try to, ad-din nasiha. Deen, the faith, is nothing more than good advice for me, firstly and foremost.
I think what it needs is, it's generally speaking, I think most of it, the people at the mosque and leading them in understand that, but it's just got to get the right people who are at the mosque as like the ambassador of the mosque to show them around, that they understand that. Because, you know, when I was there as well, there's several of the people there who was sort of like introducing and bringing them in. They understood that, but sometimes if someone else just happens to be there and does it, or even an outsider trying to help, and they might sort of, you know, put their own way across. But, you know, in those, like again, I'll keep talking about that week after the mosque incident where they had the Jummah prayer in the Hagley Park, like 90+%, if not more, of the sisters, and these are non-Muslims who attended that Friday prayer, which is about 15,000 non-Muslims attended. 90% or more of the sisters who came there were wearing some form of hijab. Even the Prime Minister, was there doing that. So out of respect and that sort of thing. So this is a nation who are willing to just try so much. We're halfway there in getting them on our side in terms of understanding Islam and things like, whether they accept Islam, that's another thing, but just they're gone that far they're not there out placards and saying, go back, and there's some like that, but the majority of them were showing good empathy and love and arwah for the Muslims, you know, during that time, and even still continued on. So we have to show back and give a little bit of slack on that sort of thing. Like, you know, they're not Muslims, so we sort of show them and teach them and say, oh, this is what we normally wear, but, you know, we don't expect you to do it. If you like, here's some, you know, some things to do that, and that sort of thing. We have to just show them, rather than we try to force something straight on. And as soon as you start doing that, then the barriers go up, you know, the blinkers go on, and they say, oh, you know, it's basically whatever you say after that is sort of lost. And that's what we've got to try and do, to just show that love and care, and, you know, the love we want for them, that they become Muslim. So for that, we have to try our best to present it in the best possible way. If we start sort of enforcing things, these sort of rules on them straight away, that it gets hard. Like, even if I go back to my days when I became Muslim, yes, when I went to the mosque, you know, because I like to do a lot of exercise and that, and one of the mosques just after I became Muslim, I used to go jogging to it for Fajr. And of course I'd be wearing shorts and then have long pants to put on when I get to the mosque. But then I, you know, get told, oh no, you shouldn't do that. So after a while I sort of realized, oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing like that. So, but I used to play, you know, sport and football and squash, and I used to play in shorts. Up until then, a few years after, I thought, no, I won't. I can now do that in long pants. So ever since then, I was doing it in the, you know, the long shorts, 3/4 shorts, or even full, you know, pants. So, you know, it just takes that time sometimes, because you've got all that baggage that you've had all those years of growing up in, you know, Western, like I come from Australia, that stuff of, you know, you've got to, it can't just bang change like that. It takes a time to slowly ease it out of your system.
Yep, agreed. We don't welcome non-Muslims into our masajid. How will they find out about Islam? The sister says, Jumaid. And then Mustafa says, during the time of the Prophet, some incremental changes to the addition of wine and alcohol, which was rife with the Arabs at the time. In fact, everybody drank, you know, slowly changed society. It wasn't overnight, and it was 3 steps. In fact, there were 3 steps to that, and 3 ayat, you know, and incidents of, you know, nasiha, or divine intervention, as it were. So, brothers and sisters, subhanallah, we've reached the time, the top of the hour, as it were. We've got 2 minutes until the Quran class starts. And I just, so this was the topic. In fact, we did have a guest due today, but maybe they have excuses because they're very busy people. But we'll continue with an international guest again tomorrow. And I hope you've enjoyed this topic. And just be mindful of one thing, and one thing only, that these brothers and sisters, they, you know, they're returning to their fitrah. Make it a pleasant journey for them. You know, even sometimes overlook the things they're doing, you know, because that's often the time. Oftentimes, brothers and sisters, it's been said to me, it's been mentioned to me, you know, that, you know, it's been said to me, brothers and sisters, that, subhanallah. Anyway, don't worry about that. We've got some important questions. I'll go off the...
Yes.
Is it permissible to give a non-Muslim a mushaf? Well, I think it's probably better that we don't do that. Give a translation, it's better. Okay, what is the point of giving them mushaf if they don't even read it? They can't read it. What are they going to do? Present it like some of us do as on their bookshelf to sort of demonstrate that we've got the Quran on the shelf, and then do nothing with it. Quran is supposed to be enacted upon. It's supposed to be lived according to. So whatever you do, give it to them in a language of their understanding. Why give them a mushaf? Absolutely no point at all, unless it's only mushaf, is only Arabic, right? If it's got English translation, it's not mushaf, according to the scholars. Okay, so that's really, really very important. I think Voice of Islam gives out a lot of Qurans, right, Mohammed?
Yes, so if people wish to have Quran, if you want us to send out to your friends and relatives or whatever, either contact us to send, so we can send it out to them, or you can come to us and get some, and and then you can distribute them out to them. So we've got, alhamdulillah, plenty, and that's part of what we do as service we provide as well.
Absolutely. So that's pretty good. That's good, mashallah. Barakallah feek, brothers and sisters, for your attending to that. I'm sorry if it was a bit rushed and it was last minute, so we didn't do as much research as we perhaps should have for that show. But, you know, things happen like that, especially in Ramadan, when people start getting very, very tired towards this, the last 10 days now, last 10 days of Ramadan, in a few days. In fact, it must be about day 18 from my estimation. So brothers and sisters, without further ado, we're going to bring Anjan Ali into the discussion.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, brothers, mashallah?
Yes, alhamdulillah. When did you start dead on time today?
That's fine.
Dead on time. Because other
Excellent.
times we've had speakers and we've, you know, it's gone over a bit. I do understand that. Ustadh Anjan Ali will be talking to us about the glorious Quran today and explaining nearly, well, if you've attended all the classes, you will be cognizant of around 50% of the meaning of the Quran by the end of the 19 short lessons. If you have been attending and doing your homework like good children, then mashallah, you will be in an incredible situation by the end of Ramadan, and you will not forget this Ramadan. It will be the best Ramadan. It will be the Ramadan when you connected with the Quran, which is exactly what this month's all about, brothers and sisters.
Ameen.
SubhanAllah. Yes, go for it. Ustadh.
Yusuf. Again, from my experience, I never have any problem with children doing the homework, to be honest. All the classes I've run with children have been fantastic. It's the adults have been difficult with getting them to do the commitments. But anyway, this is it's very difficult to unlearn things in life, and that's the biggest challenge. Anyway, let's begin. Inshallah, we're on lesson number 8B. Those of you who are following, inshallah, I hope all of you have had the opportunity to download the notes from the website, as well as the Telegram group where I've actually posted the notes, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin with lesson number 8B. We've done lesson 8A previously, inshallah ta'ala. And as normal, what we will do the Kahoot quizzes at the end, inshallah ta'ala, as well as take any questions that you have. And I'm also welcome any feedback in terms of how you're getting on, if there are any suggestion for improvements, and anything else we can do to facilitate a better learning experience. Please do let us know, inshallah, and we'll try to accommodate as much as we can, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin in the blessed name of Allah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We're learning lesson 8b. Actually, today is quite a tough lesson in the sense that new concepts have been introduced. So I hope you've had the time to read the notes, and we will have some time to revise this in the class, inshallah ta'ala. We're going to learn some demonstrative pronouns. They're called demonstrative pronouns in English. And inshallah we'll learn those. And before that, just a quick overview of what we've learned so far. Using TPI, the hand signs, alhamdulillah, we use a technique called hear it, see it, think it, say it, show it, love it, and do it together. That's resulted in us learning in just a few minute segments, rather than long lectures, many different types of words, how to make plurals, how to make feminine. We learned already that with ism, and we will start verbs, inshallah ta'ala, from next lesson. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to look at a few more nouns, demonstrative pronouns as well, inshallah. And these are the charts. I will put these on the these screenshots on the for the brothers to put on the website under the vocabulary section. But this chart alone that you can see 4,992 times in the Quran. Unfortunately, due to shortage of time, I'm not going to go through all of these revision, but please try and practice this, inshallah. You'll find them all in your notes, but I'll give screen captures of these sheets on PDF, which will be on the vocabulary section folder on the website, inshallah, for you to revise. So you have lahu, lahum, laka, li, lakum, lana, laha, minhu, minhum, minka, minni, minkum, minna, and minha. And anhu, anhum, anka, anni, ankum, anna, anha. So these 7 words times 3, 21 words in the Quran, 4,992 times. Then we learned bihi, fihi, and alayhi, again 7 of each, and these appear in the Quran 3,401 times. And then we have the last lessons, ilayhi, ilayhim, ma'ahu, and ma'ahum, and indahu, indahum, the whole series. Again, they come 1,096 times in the Quran. So between these, alhamdulillah, more than 10,000 words of Al-Quran, all using attached pronouns. So if you've learned these, inshallah, you will see the benefit of them in this course, as well as the benefit of them in any future Arabic studies that you do. In particular, when you pick up the Quran and try to go ayah by ayah, inshallah, which should be your aim in life, inshallah ta'ala, you should be able to pick up at least significant portions of it without having to refer to a translation or a dictionary. So please learn these words thoroughly, inshallah ta'ala. So let's go today. What we're going to do is a bit of theory to explain a very, very important issue regarding prepositions. And this is a common problem out of all the experiences I've had over the last 13 odd years teaching this course, especially to English speakers. I'm talking about English speakers, is the issue of translation. Why am I saying with so many words? And you've all asked me this question as well. What's going on with preposition? So we look at li, la, min, an, bi, fi, ala, ila, ma'a, in all of these words. And we see that they've been translated differently on different occasions. We've got 2 or 3 different translations. So what's happening with preposition? Well, the first principle is different languages use prepositions differently. And there's no way around that. Every language has its own beauty in its own way. In Arabic, when I say amantu billah, I believed. In English, I will use the word in. In English, I have to use the preposition in. So I will say, amantu billah, I believed in Allah. But if there was another language, for example, the example we used, which is Urdu. In Urdu, I say, maine Allah par iman laya. The word par in Urdu means on. So in Urdu, we say on Allah, whereas in English, we say in Allah. So the preposition used in Urdu is on, whereas in English, it is in. So you can see I'm using 2 different prepositions in 2 different languages. So what first experience you'll have is a different language, you use prepositions in a different way. There's no other way around that. So we have to go with the English translation, with the English standard when we're translating into English. Second, if you look carefully at the screen now, you'll see preposition is in Arabic, but not in English. Here I have ighfir li. Ighfir means forgive. Li means for or to, which you've learned, me. So in English, in Arabic, I'm saying forgive for me. But in English, when I translate, I don't need to say forgive for me. I just say forgive me. So I don't need the preposition. Whereas in Arabic, I must have the preposition. Otherwise, it will not make sense. So you'll see here, ighfir li, forgive me. I don't need to say translate the red word li into English. Now take the other example. In English here I have, and have mercy on me. And have mercy on me. Whereas in Arabic, I say warhamni. There is no on in Arabic at all. So in English, I've got it, but not in Arabic. In the previous example, in Arabic, I had it, but not in English. So you can see prepositions have different rules in every language. So like the word get. If I said to Brother Yusuf outside Ramadan, brother, please get me a cup of tea. He will understand that as bringing something to me. The word get means bring something to me. That's English, right? Simple English, we all know it. But look at this, what happens when I put something next to it? Get in, does that have any meaning with bringing something? Get out, does that have any meaning with bringing something? Get up, does that have any meaning with getting something? Get down, get lost, get going, get away. Now you can see I've completely changed the meaning of the verb, completely changed it, by adding a preposition in English after the verb. So you have to accept this when you learn a new language, that every language has its own beauty. English has its own beauty, Arabic has its own beauty, its own style, its own system. So a verb, when you learn the meaning of get, which means to bring something, and then tomorrow somebody says get in, and you're thinking, what's going on? So you have to accept this, that prepositions will change the meaning of the verb. A preposition will change the meaning of the verb. That's how powerful it is. Completely change it. I'll give you an example, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, here look, in Arabic, salli. Salli in Arabic normally means to pray. Salli, you're telling somebody to pray. Salli li rabbik, pray to your Lord. Okay, simple. But if I say salli ala, it doesn't mean pray anymore. It means send peace. Salli ala Muhammad, and send peace on Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Again, brother, on a side note, brother Yusuf, I'll share this with you. I was watching a debate between a Muslim and a non-Muslim, and he was accusing the Muslims of praying to Muhammad, God praying to Muhammad, and his evidence was this: Salli ala Muhammad. God is being told to pray to Muhammad. Na'udhu billah. The guy doesn't understand the basics of Arabic, and unfortunately, the Muslim he was debating with did not know this simple rule in Arabic language, that if you put a preposition after a verb, the meaning of the verb changes, which is the example I've given with English. So Salli ala Muhammad doesn't mean na'udhu billah, that pray to Muhammad. It means send peace upon Muhammad. Right? So this happens in every language. So we have to be ready for this. And this is why I'm introducing it now, just to explain to you what's going on with these prepositions. So please, when you approach learning a language, you got to know the rules of the language you're translating into. Because we're English speakers, we're interested in the English translation of the word, closest meaning we can get. And that is why we have so many anomalies with prepositions. And it's something you have to live with until you learn more and more of the language. So remember this point: change in preposition changes the meaning of the verb. And same thing happens in English: get in, get out, get up, get down, get lost, get away. All different meaning of the word get. The basic fundamental meaning has changed. Whereas get me a cup of tea, get me water, okay, that means to bring something, whereas all the other ones have completely changed the meaning. So this is what we have to accept when we go from one language to another, and it's to do with the language. So remember 4 points, inshallah ta'ala. Number 1, different language use prepositions differently. Number 2, sometimes preposition is in Arabic, but not in English. Number 3, preposition is not in Arabic, but it is in English. So the opposite case. And number 4, change in preposition will change the meaning of the verb. So if you remember this as a guideline, inshallah ta'ala, you will not be confused. So because this is the basic rule of the English language, inshallah. So this is the 4 points, inshallah, which hopefully will clarify some of the misunderstanding, why we are translating things differently. And some of you asked me, why is so many words with? Okay, be means with. Ma'a means with, inda means with. What's going on? It is to do with the rules of the English language and how you translate in English. So today, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to learn new words, and these are pointing words. So I want you all to practice with me, please. I'll get up so you can all see my hands. Okay. So you see this hand here, I'm going to point towards, you can't see me exactly. I'm pointing downwards towards something very close to me. Okay. So I'm going to say like this. I'm going to say in English first. I'm going to say, for example, something very close. I'm pointing to a brother and I'm going to say, this is a Muslim. Okay. Try that with me now. One finger pointing down. This is a Muslim.
This is a Muslim.
This is a Muslim.
This is a Muslim.
Now I want you to take the left hand and I want you to point again and say, this is a Muslimah, as if you're pointing to a female Muslim and say, this is a Muslimah.
This
Okay,
is a
ready?
Muslim.
This is a Muslimah. Now I want you to take 4 fingers and I want to point downwards, something close to you and say, these are Muslims. These are Muslims. Okay, these are Muslims. Now I want you to point far away as if you're pointing to the top of a mountain. Okay, and Brother Ahmed's there. He's already got there, inshallah ta'ala. So point toward the top of a mountain and say, that is a Muslim. Okay, that is a Muslim. That, so you're pointing far away. That is a Muslim. And then you put the left hand, you go this way and they're pointing to another mountain. Another sisters go to the top of the mountain and say, that is a Muslimah. That is a Muslimah. Okay, that is a Muslimah. And then you point with 4 fingers. Lots of Muslims have followed Brother Ahmed to the top of the mountain. So you say over there, I hope you can see my hand, pointing far away and say, those are Muslims. Those are Muslims. Those are Muslims. So these words are called demonstrative pronouns in English. They're used to point to things like this for close, that for far away. This for close, that for far away. And then these for plural and those for plural. Okay, so in English, we use them in this way. What do we do in Arabic? In Arabic, for close, we use hadha, hadha, this. And if it's a feminine, you're pointing, you say hadhihi, hadhihi. If you're pointing to far away in Arabic, you say that, dhalika, dhalika. If you're pointing to feminine, you say tilka, tilka. If you're pointing to lots, you say ulaika, ulaika, ulaika. Okay, those. So let's practice now. Full sentences, just like we did with huwa, and we did with whom, and we did with here. We will do the same here, inshallah ta'ala, and hopefully through practice, you'll get it. Ready? Hada Muslim, Hada Muslim, Hada Muslim, Hadihi Muslima, Hadihi, Hadihi Muslima, Hadihi Muslima, Hadihi Muslima. Those at home, please, please repeat, otherwise it will not stick. You will forget it. Hada Muslim, Hadihi Muslima. Hada Muslim, Hadihi Muslima. Hada Muslim, Hadihi Muslima. Now do far away. Dhalika Muslim. Sorry, you can't see my hand. Dhalika Muslim. Dhalika Muslim. Tilka Muslima. Tilka Muslima. Tilka Muslima. Okay, so one more time. Hada Muslim, Hadihi Muslima. Dhalika Muslim. Tilka Muslima.
Tilka Muslima.
Well, so there's 4 words here. One for close, masculine. The other for close, feminine. The other is for far away, masculine, and far away, feminine. 4 words. Okay, and they're very common in the Quran. I'll show you the statistics in a second, inshallah. Now for plural, good news, you don't need a separate one for male and female. It's the same one. So I can say haulai muslimun. Repeat after me. Haulai muslimun, these are Muslims. Haulai muslimun, these are Muslim. Or you can say haulai muslimatun, if you're just referring to female. Haulai muslimatun. Okay, then far away. Okay, ulaika muslimun, ulaika muslimun, ulaika muslimun. Now another example you can help, if it helps you. Imagine you're a rich man and you're pointing to the top of a mountain, and a poor man is pointing to the top of a mountain. The poor man says, that is my house. Okay, and the rich man points up and says, all of those are my houses. Okay, all of those are my houses. So this is how it's used. Okay, that and those. That singular, those plural. So inshallah ta'ala, use those hand signs. Let's do it one more time before we go into the example, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, tilka is missing. I'll bring the tilka in a second, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you for the comment. Okay, so hadha, hadihi, haulai, dhalika, tilka, ulaika. Okay, I'll bring the chart in, inshallah, where you can see all the numbers and statistics. So, هذا هذه هذا هذه ذلك تلك ذلك تلك. Okay, هؤلاء sorry هؤلاء أولئك أولئك هؤلاء أولئك. So you find them in the Quran many times, 1043 times. On page 1 you'll find them. Surah Al-Baqarah, page 1 you'll find them. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه أولئك هم المفلحون. Okay, you'll find it there, inshallah ta'ala. So they're very common in the Quran, 600 pages. So therefore you'll find at least 1 or 2 per page on average. So you have هذا هذه هؤلاء ذلك تلك أولئك. Okay, أولئك, those. أولئك, those. These, those. That's all it is, inshallah ta'ala. And it's exactly the same way as you use a pronoun, huwa and whom, in terms of grammatical structure, in terms of making sentences. So هذا Muslim, this is a Muslim. هذه مسلمة, this is a Muslimah. ذلك Muslim, that is a Muslim. تلك مسلمة, that is a Muslimah. So you have to practice this. It's unfortunately 6 new words. 6 new words, very common in the Quran, but until you practice them, they will not stick and you get confused between this and that. Inshallah ta'ala, if you use your hand signs and you repeat repeatedly, you will not have a problem with it, inshallah ta'ala. So these are the demonstrative pronouns, inshallah ta'ala. What we will do a quick Kahoot, and then we'll come back and practice some more. So it'll give you a break, inshallah ta'ala, before the practice. So let's get ready, inshallah ta'ala, brothers and sisters, with our Kahoot challenge. This is going to test your previous knowledge of the prepositions, inshallah ta'ala. I hope you can all see it. And then we will do the hadha range, inshallah. Okay, please put the numbers in as you see them, inshallah. Those of you are on Facebook and YouTube, we strongly recommend you try and join the group, inshallah ta'ala, through Zoom, or try to use kahoot.it. I have put the number in the chat forum as well, inshallah ta'ala, so you can see it. Okay, we've got 15 joined. Brother Yusuf, over to you. Whenever you're ready, inshallah, I will start. 33. Give it a few seconds.
More than that.
Okay, inshallah.
"26 have joined, 27
Okay, 27
so far. So all of those who are around, who've got their children around, you can also get them to join independently. Let them also be tested. Learn this course with you. Inshallah. I think we can go then. Ready? If
Okay.
anybody is late. So go for it, Sheikh.
Yeah, anybody late can put the number in, inshallah ta'ala. 3478 339. 3478 339. Okay, ilayya ilayka. This is from previous lesson. So practice how much of you remember. Ilayya ilayka. Brother, you should get this one. There's a very nice to me, to you. Ring a bell. Ilayya wa ilayka. Ilayya ilayka. Ilayya ilayka. Okay, 19 of you got it right. Well done. Ilayya, to me. Ilayka, to you. Okay, to me, to you. Okay, can a change in preposition lead to a change in the meaning of the verb? I went through it with you earlier. If I change the preposition after a verb, can I change the meaning of the verb? Which one of the statement is correct? Yes, no, no, only the meaning of a noun. No, the meaning never changes. We said yes. This is very important principle in language. English, as I said, has its own beauty. Urdu has its own beauty. Arabic has its own beauty. So every language has its own beauty. You have to learn it, and the translating language, you know it well, inshallah ta'ala, then you'll understand the differences. Well done. Very important principle, and it confused the life out of me when I first started, but this inshallah helped me. Okay, number 3. Which statements are correct when dealing with preposition? There are more than one correct answer here. More than one. Okay, well done. Okay, may or may not be required when translating, may be needed in Arabic but not in English. Prepositions are not like verbs, so that's incorrect. Okay, prepositions are always translated in the same way. That's also not correct. So alhamdulillah, 16 of you, majority of you got it correct. Well done, well done, very pleased. Just remember those principles and then just let go. Inshallah, everything will be okay. Don't try to think too much about translations. Fihim wa fina, fihim wa fina. This is again previous lessons. Fihim wa fina. See if you can get this. If you can get it, mashallah, the previous lessons you know well. MashaAllah, 16 of you, well done. In them, fihim, fina. It's all in your fingertips. If you use your hands, you will not make a mistake. Fihim, in them. Fihi, fihim. Fika, fiya. Fikum, fina. So you want fihim and fina. That's what, this is the one you want. 16 of you got it right. Well done. 5th question. Wahuwa ma'ana. Again, break it down, be very easy. Wahuwa ma'ana. Wahuwa ma'ana. Be careful, I want all 3 words. MashaAllah, 23 of you got it right, which is fantastic. Wahuwa ma'ana, overwhelmingly majority of you got it right. And he is with us, ma'ana, ma'ana. Well done. 6th one, please. Wa nahnu lahu, wa nahnu lahu. How many words there are? And see what you can do with it, inshallah. From there, you can translate easy. Wa nahnu lahu. Nine of you got it right. Okay, well done. It was a tough one, but break it down. Wa is and. Nahnu is we. Lahu, for him. And we are for him. Wa nahnu lahu. This example is from Quran. Okay, mashallah. I hope you've seen the benefit. Inshallah, we'll have a look at the podium and then we'll go back to our lesson. Okay, Hania, I believe is the name, if I pronounce it correctly. TJ, Fidad, and Saf, and Sof, all of you, well done, inshallah ta'ala. Hope I pronounce your names correctly. Inshallah, let's go back to our lesson. Okay, so these are the demonstrative pronouns. Again, practice with me, please. Hadha, this. Hadhihi, this. So hadha, hadhihi, something close. Dhalika, tilka. Dhalika, tilka. Dhalika, tilka. Okay. Haulai and ulaika. Haulai and ulaika. Pointing close and pointing far. So you're saying this is a Muslim, this is a Muslimah, that is a Muslim, that is a Muslimah. Okay. Haulai these, ulaika those. Haulai these, ulaika those. So just remember those, inshallah ta'ala. Very common, 1043 times in the Quran. 1043 times in the Quran. You do need to practice them, otherwise they will confuse you. Okay, with your hand signs, inshallah, with your hand signs. So something close, Okay, do it with me, brother Yusuf, inshallah. You ready? Hada,
هذا
downwards, as you point in something close. Hada,
هذا
hadihi,
هذه
hadihi, dhalika,
ذلك.
right hand. No, far away,
Yeah.
pointing far away.
Oh,
No, far
ذلك.
away. Dhalika,
Yeah.
tilka, left hand.
تلك تلك.
Tilka, and ulaika, far away. Okay, ulaika,
Sorry, I can't see you.
ulaika. Oh, sorry,
Okay,
ulaika,
you're not on the screen. Okay.
ulaika,
ذلك.
ulaika. And that's it. These words are very common and they're called demonstrative pronouns in English. Demonstrative pronouns. In Arabic, they are a category of ism. Okay, so they're called demonstrative nouns in Arabic. Asma'ul ishara is a term. Please don't worry about it. Okay, so if I asked you, Hal hadha Muslim? Simple. Is this a Muslim? Naam hadha Muslim. Yes, this is a Muslim. Hal haulai Muslimun? Are these Muslims? Naam haulai Muslimun. These are Muslims. Simple. Okay, just joining together make the sentence. Just like we used hal huwa Muslim. Here I'm saying hal hadha Muslim. Hal haulai Muslimun. And the other one answering naam hadha Muslim. Yes, he is a Muslim. Hal dhalika Muslim? Is that a Muslim? Naam dhalika Muslim. Hal ulaika Muslimun? Are they Muslims? Are those Muslims? Naam ulaika Muslimun. Those are Muslims. So that's how we'll use them. Just joining the word hal or a in front converts the statement to a question, and then you answer it either naam or la. Naam, yes, la, no. And that's how it works, inshallah ta'ala. Very simple in that principle. So I can make a sentence relatively easily in Arabic, inshallah ta'ala, just by using these demonstrative pronouns at the beginning. So inshallah ta'ala, you've got the demonstrative pronouns, you've got their uses, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so I'll take those questions, inshallah. If it's directly relevant, I'll pick it up. Otherwise, we'll go take it at the end, inshallah ta'ala. So, hal hadha Muslim? Naam, hadha Muslim. Hal haulai Muslimun? Naam. Sorry, hal ulaika Muslimun? Naam, ulaika Muslimun. Okay, far away. Ulaika Muslimun. So, alhamdulillah, you can see it. Hadha, hadhihi, masculine, feminine. Dhalika, tilka. Dhalika, tilka. Dhalika, tilka. Remember those? Hadha Muslim. Hadhihi Muslima. Dhalika Muslim. Tilka Muslima. Please use the audio file. They're in the folder, lesson number 8b, and in the audio file, all of these, we will go through them, inshallah ta'ala, again. And again, just a reminder of the set that we are learning, okay? Set that we are learning in this course because they're very frequently used in the Quran. Okay, so what we've talked about many times, inshallah ta'ala, learning tip, and we will go to the Kahoot after that, inshallah. Tilawa from the Quran. We emphasize this a lot. My personal view, anybody who wants to learn to understand Arabic, Quran, anybody wants to learn to understand Arabic, and they're making a lot of effort in Arabic, but they're not reading Quran on a daily basis. In my view, they're not serious. Okay, because you have to connect with the Quran. Your purpose and motivation should be Quran. So the first thing we need to do is develop a habit of daily reading. Be it 1 minute, doesn't matter, start somewhere. Okay, if you can't read, of course, you need to learn to read. This will take, inshallah ta'ala, progress. In your local masjid or community, you learn to read. But as soon as you've learned, you have to read regularly. Okay, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can afford, something is always better than nothing. So always have a daily connection with the Quran. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Iqra'ul Quran fa'innahu ya'ti yawm al-qiyamati shafi'an li ashabihi." So he said, read the Quran, for it will come as an intercessor for its reciter on the day of resurrection. What does that mean? On the day of judgment, when our account is being taken, the Quran will come as our advocate. Just like in the UK, when you go to court, you have a barrister representing you. In the same way, the Quran will come as our advocate on the day of judgment, and it will stand for us, and it will give witness for us. In the hadith, we are also told fasting and the Quran will come as intercessor for us. So those of us fasting, alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, our fast will come on the day of judgment in our defense. Okay, so as the Quran will come. So the more connection we have with the Quran, if we make it our companion on earth, it will be our companion in the hereafter. So we must make a special effort to have a connection with the Quran as Allah, as is recommended and as is in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we're commanded by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, read the Quran, for it will come as an intercessor for its reciters on the day of resurrection, for its companions. So those who make the Quran their companion on earth, they will find their Quran as a companion in the day to come. It will be a companion in our graves. It will be a companion on the day of resurrection. And it will be a companion which will come as our intercessor on the day of difficulty. So all of us, inshallah ta'ala, myself included, if we're serious, we need to make a commitment to have a daily connection with the Quran. Please do not worry if you're not even able to read it. That is not the point, inshallah ta'ala. Read the English translation or whichever language you're familiar with, but have some connection with the Quran. But as quickly as you can, try to develop, inshallah ta'ala, that you are able to read the Quran directly, inshallah ta'ala, in the Arabic, and that will bring you many, many spiritual benefits. Most importantly, your iman will be strengthened, inshallah ta'ala. So this is a very important message for us, because nobody will talk to us on the day of judgment. Then the Quran will come and they will say, I will intercede for you and ask Allah to forgive you and let you enter Jannah. So the Quran is coming as our intercessor. Imagine the ultimate happiness you and I will feel when we are in difficulty in that day, the tough day, the hard day where the accounting will be taken, and suddenly the Quran comes and says, I will be your companion today, just like you were my companion on earth. So if you want to receive this happiness, recite the Quran on earth. Okay, so we all want to understand Quran, but the first step has to be have a consistent relationship with the Quran, even if it's small. Start somewhere, and the more familiar you are with the Quran, the easier it will be for you to learn Arabic. And first assignment, recite Quran at least 5 minutes a day. That's my request to every student, and I repeat it many times, inshallah ta'ala. Start reading Quran daily, at least 5 minutes, if you can manage that, inshallah ta'ala. Start with 5 minutes, inshallah. We have now learned 93 words, brothers and sisters, that come in the Quran 27,536 times. So make that your commitment, inshallah, your goal, to recite the Quran so you can become familiar with this. Let's play another Kahoot, inshallah ta'ala, and we will come back to take your questions. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you. I hope you can all see the screen, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, please put the number in. I will copy the number and put it in the chat section. This one's going to be a tough one, so please concentrate. I will try to assist you with any unclear questions. Okay, I'll put the number in, inshallah. For anybody who's late, can see the number there and put the number in. Those brothers and sisters who are on YouTube and Facebook, please kindly try to use the kahoot.it. It will reduce the lag. Better still, please join us through the Zoom, inshallah ta'ala, when we learn. Okay, 22 of you are now on board. Okay.
Okay, 26 on so far, inshallah. Let's see if we can get up to about, we've got 34 in the actual Zoom group. So all of you should be trying to get onto Kahoot. Very important that you test what you know, test what you've learnt or purportedly learnt. So inshallah, if you haven't learnt it properly, you have to go back and then do it again and do more revision. But small steps, small baby steps, inshallah.
Okay, let's start. Bismillah, 27. Let's begin. Okay, yes. Pin number 865087. 865087. Inshallah, I'll take your questions right at the end when we finish this one, inshallah. What's the feminine version of hadha? Okay. Feminine. هذه هذا هذه ذلك تلك. Okay, so remember those, inshallah ta'ala. Well done. I'm quite surprised so many of you got it right. Well done. Okay, number 2, plural of dhalika. Plural. What is the plural? Okay, so that, here or here, which one? Work out the plural. Okay, 15 we got it right. Dhalika, ulaika, ulaika, ulaika. Translate haulai mu'minun. This is tough. Okay, first time. So you're going to work out as close or far first, and mashallah, 19 of you got it right. Haulai, these are believers. Well done. These are believers. Haulai mu'minun. Fourth question. Feminine version of dhalika. What is the feminine version of dhalika? Dhalika. Far away, is it, or close? You got to work out, then give me the feminine version. Which one is dhalika? Right, so remember, very easy to divide them into close or far away, and then you should be able to get it. Okay, 22 of you, mashallah, tilka, well done. Really impressed. Well done, mashallah, especially if it's the first time you're doing Arabic and you're getting it right. I'm very impressed. Well done. These are pious. These are pious. So work out, is it close or far, and then work out from there. Pious, you should know. We've done it in lesson number 2. Salihun. Okay, salihun. Salih, salihun. So those are the words. You need to work out from there. I'm looking for masculine, obviously. Okay, well done. These, haulai salihun. Salihun. Well done. Those are Muslims. Those are Muslims. Those are. So work out in English, close or far, and then go from there. Okay, ulaika muslimun. Those, ulaika, those are Muslims. Okay, point to the top of the mountain. Well done. 7th question. That is a Muslim. That is a Muslim. So close, far is the first question, and then should be easy. Well done. Dhalika Muslim. Well done. MashaAllah. 8th question. Ulaika Muslimun. Ulaika Muslimun. MashaAllah, 17 of you got it correct. Well done. Ulaika, those are Muslims. 9th question. Dhalika mu'minun. Dhalika mu'minun. Remember, and hal converts to a question. So the rest, if you work out, you should be able to translate it. Dhalika mu'minun. What does mu'minun mean? Lesson number 2. Is that a believer? Is that a believer? Only 9 got it right. That. Okay. Dhalika, that, singular. Mu'min, believer. So well done, those who got it right. Even those who said blue, believers is plural. I want the singular. Mu'min is singular. Okay. The word mu'min is singular. 10th question. Naam, ulaika muslimun. Naam, ulaika muslimun. Work out far or close, and then singular or plural, and then you should be there, inshallah. Yes, those are Muslims. Well done. Ulaika, those far away. 22 of you got it right, which is amazing. Well done. MashaAllah. So let's look at our podium, and then we'll go to your questions, inshallah ta'ala. Husni, well done. Qasim, well done. Saf, well done. 12,000 points. So that means you've answered very quickly. All of you well done. Congratulations, inshallah. Let's go to our questions. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. There are some, okay.
There's quite a lot of questions, brother. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah? Yeah.
Yes, let's go from them.
Okay, there is no dhalika on the screen. We dealt with that already.
Yeah.
There's a mistake on the slide. It's hadahi instead of tilka. Sorry, my laptop doesn't have it. Yeah. Okay.
No, that's fine. I'm aware of it, inshallah. Thank you very much for that one. It was an oversight for me. I'll double check it, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you. Yeah, I went to the next slide straight after when I realized it. Thank you very much for telling me.
So that's all of those ones dealt with. And then what are your thoughts on reading the Quran in digital material from a hard form? Which do you prefer?
Okay, this is a personal question, so I'll answer it. Actually, there's nothing wrong with reading Quran in digital form, but personally, I prefer to read the book. In fact, I've got it on my computer, I got it on my laptop, and I've also got Quran in my phone. I very rarely look at those for reading. I always use my own mushaf. I'll show you just on top of my shelf. So I read this one. As I'm getting older, I need bigger text, so I use this one, inshallah ta'ala. And I personally always prefer to read Quran from the book. That's my personal preference. It is not haram to use any of those devices. I would advise people also to have their own mushaf. This is what my teacher recommended for me. I found it beneficial, which is your own one, and you keep it with you in a fixed place and you read it regularly. So it just, you become familiar with these pages, this style and so on. And you carry a mushaf with you if it's a traveling one. Otherwise, keep your own mushaf and read that. Now, the only other negative with digital media, I believe it actually damages the eyesight. That's my personal view. Unfortunately, all my life has been in front of computers. I've been in the IT industry, and then I spent years as a manager. So most of my life is using computers. I don't think it's good for your eyes, particularly at night. So I strongly recommend that you stick with the book form, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with using iPad or any of those devices to read Quran or listen to Quran at all.
Another question is, can we reply, okay, Nam huwa Muslim? I don't know.
Yes, you can. Yeah, I know what you mean. The question is this a Muslim? And you can, yes, he is a Muslim. You can do, just like in English, you can do, but obviously in testing time, we'd expect you to reply using the same format. Yes, you can.
Please type your questions, Fawzia.
No, I think that's for people who are raising hands.
Okay. Nothing else?
No, alhamdulillah.
Everything else okay?
Yeah. Please also give us your feedback. Let the brothers and sisters know in Voice of Islam any comments, suggestion for improvements. My personal belief is that everything a human being does, there's always room for improvement. So we should always look to improve ourselves, correct our mistakes, and look at the next session to improve continuously. And that's what we do with the courses. Any mistakes people point out. Please note these are works of human beings, so they will always have some flaws in it. But we try to minimize those the best of our ability.
We've got some other questions.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you please tell us if dhalika is that, then why does Surah Baqarah start with dhalika instead of hadha?
Okay.
I think they've used hajja or
that's fine. I understand the question very, very well. Okay. Now, there are detailed explanation in the tafsir. Okay. So there's two issues here. One is the translation into English. Every translator will say, this is the book upon which there is no doubt, if you look at the translation, as opposed the word used in Arabic is dhalika, which means that. So what's the reason when they translated this way? There is a reason. In Arabic, what we have is called balagha. Balagha is for eloquence. So in Arabic, something that is close can be used to point to the word that, to give it high status. High status. Okay. For example, again, please don't misunderstand this as a comparison, but in the UK, and the Queen will say, "We are not amused," even though she's a singular person. So pronoun is used for grandeur there in that sense. So the royal we, they call it. So with dhalika also, it's pointing to far, but it's about the grandeur of the book, the grandeur, it's a grand thing. And that is what some of this explanation is given. You will find others in the tafsir notes, inshallah ta'ala. Please do look at them. And the explanations are given in detail there. But it is to do with eloquence in the Arabic language. And that is why it's there, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay. What is the meaning of fulak? I don't know.
I'm not sure what fulak is. I'm sorry.
I don't really pronounce. Yeah.
Fulak.
Yeah.
Fa'ulaika, maybe. Fa'ulaika, possibly. But I'm not sure. Sorry. Please, if you can rewrite that word, I'd love to answer that question. But unless you might mean fa'ulaika, then that's two words, fa and ulaika joined together. So, ulaika, those. So those. If that's what you mean. I'm sorry, but that's all I can say.
There is.
Fa'ulaika, okay. Fa'ulaika, yes. Fa is so, then lesson number 1, fa, and then ulaika. So, those. Ulaika, those. So, those.
Good. Alhamdulillah, I think we've reached the end, brothers and sisters. Jazakumullah khair. Beautiful answer regarding balaga from Sister Husna. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, Ustadh, and other brothers. Ameen.
Jazakumullah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's another question I think just came up. Those who know Urdu language, do you think learning Arabic for them is even more easy or slight advantage?
Okay, that's very good question. I personally believe if you are an Urdu speaker and you don't learn Arabic, and you're committing a major crime. I repeat, the reason why I'll tell you, 70% of the vocabulary of high-level Urdu is from Arabic. I repeat, I learned, my teacher, I'm not an Urdu speaker, I'm originally from Bangladesh, but I learned Urdu. My teacher taught me through Urdu, and he explained to me how the vocabulary system works. So about 60-70% of the vocabulary is from Arabic, originally. So that's one advantage you have. Second, your script is also written with Arabic letters. So the writing difficulty we English speakers have, you don't have it. Generally speaking, obviously the font is different, the style of writing is different, I accept that. So you have all these advantages. So if you're not learning, you're committing a crime, and the quicker you stop that crime, the more you get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sorry to be so harsh, but these are the words of my teacher. He told me the same thing. Okay. Sorry, carry on.
All right. Oh, dear. Subhanallah. Okay. Yeah, mashallah.
You need to
tired for the sake of Allah. That's good.
Ameen,
okay.
Ameen, Ameen.
Yeah, that's the best type of tiredness, brothers and sisters, in this beautiful month of Ramadan. We've got a hand raised. Guys, if you want to say something, then just
There's
say
a question here about Taha, Surah Taha, ayah number 17. In the question of context, is tilka used? In what context? I'm not sure what you mean by it. The ayah is Wama tilka biyaminika ya Musa. So the translation of it is, what is in your right hand, O Musa? I'm not sure what you mean by what context. Okay, so it's pointing to the thing that Musa alayhi salam is holding in his hand, in that sense. Okay, and the thing that he's holding in his hand is a stick, asa, and the asa is feminine in Arabic, and that is why it's saying tilka. I hope that answers the question. I don't fully understand, but is that what you mean? Why tilka is used? Musa alayhi salam is holding a stick.
Why not dhalika? He's saying, why not zalika? Why?
Well, you can't zalika? Because it's feminine.
Yeah.
Asa, stick, is feminine in Arabic. I hope that makes sense. Again, these questions will bother you until you learn Arabic grammar. Okay, you have to learn Arabic grammar as the next stage. Get this done, inshallah, it'll make sense. Everything in Arabic is treated as masculine or feminine. Everything. There is no neutral gender in Arabic, absolutely none. So everything, chair, table, stick, house, boat, star, moon, Quran, ayah, surah, every word in the Arabic language is either masculine or feminine. So it depends on what you're pointing to. Dhalika and tilka. If you're pointing to feminine, it's tilka. Okay. And there are other sub rules, but those are the most important, inshallah. I hope that explains it. I hope, inshallah.
I think so. And he said, Jazakallah khair. So that's absolutely fine. We've reached the end of the 18th program that we've been done in just a couple before Ramadan. And then these ones were the 17, I think there's +1. So really, really motoring through Ramadan, soon be in the last 10 days, brothers and sisters. Keep tuning in. Tell all your friends to tune in as well, and join the Voice of Islam platform tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock a.m. UK time and 9 p.m. New Zealand time, inshallah. Till then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just a reminder, today is a very important day in Islamic history. It is the day of Badr. Please remember the day of victory for Islam, the day of Furqan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all our fasting.
Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. 9 a tomorrow, inshallah. I will put the notes up.